All right, all right. So again, welcome. Where's Miss Anita? Did she step out?
Yeah, she skipped.
I just wanted to thank her for reaching out to me to be a part of such an amazing event. I've been busy the other 2 days, but I reached out to Danielle and she filled me in on such a good time, the good time y'all was having. So first, I want to thank God for this day, the opportunity to share my story. I made a promise years ago that I will stand in my truth and tell my story every chance I get. So 2025 was a year, and I'm not even going to read this note. I'm just going to talk. But 2025 was a year of finding myself again. From 2020 to 2024, life was knocking the breath out of me. Like every time I thought I got it together or I'm good, something else happened. I lost my grandmother in 2020. She was my girl. I took care of my granny. A month later, I'm burying my favorite aunt. I had to do her hair for her funeral. The next year, my mom gets cancer in 2021, my birthday month. 2020, she beat it, bless God, in December. 2022, my mom gets cancer again. I get a cancer scare in 2022. 2023, I lose my dad. 2024, my mom cancer come back. She beat it again. So I just think I was lost in grief, and I never knew how to grieve properly. I didn't get a chance to grieve, but I went through it. But between that and me losing myself, because as a woman, we can all relate. Who do we put last? Ourselves. It was everybody. I'm making sure everybody's good. I'm pouring into people. You sit in my chair. You tell me what you're going through. I'm going to pour into you. But I was pouring from an empty cup. It was, I don't even know how they even got a word out of me. My cup was so empty. But it was a lot of times I would smile in the presence of people and cry in the presence of myself. But I just made a promise to myself in 2024 I was not going into 2025 the same way. So let me go back to my life, back in life which made me want to start my brand Fly Chick and just tell my story and pour into women. Young age, single mother, had my daughter Zaporia at the age of 19. I was destined to go play basketball in high school. I modeled. I worked in a hair salon at 14. I was a spoiled kid, full of love. First love, got in a bad relationship, abusive relationship, lost my self-worth. Lost my self-worth, my morals, everything I was taught went out the window. Just running around looking for love in all the wrong places. It wasn't until I was 30 before I found self-love at the age of 30. And this happened to, my self-love was taken the age of 18, 19. So that's a long time to be going through. And I just remember when I got myself together, people would always say, I wish I had this. And I would always say, you couldn't walk a mile in my shoes because you don't know what I've been through, because people always see the glitz, the glam, the materialistic things, but they don't know what it took for you to get to where you are. And with me, I struggled a lot. I knew how to, being abused, I knew how to patch up a black eye and put on red lipstick to hide a busted lip. I knew how to cover up and behind a smile. But I was like, God, I want to be free. When I smile, I want my smile to be that smile. Like, I'm not covering up anything, I'm smiling. So I used to say, I could write a book about my life. It'll be a bestseller. Not knowing I was speaking it, because 8 days later, my book became an Amazon bestseller. And I had been on this journey to tell my story, but I didn't know that was my purpose in life, to share my story. So I just made a promise that every time I got a chance to share my story, I would share my story. So I went through the abuse. I went through not loving myself. I went through wanting to commit suicide. I went through almost dying, giving birth to my son. I was 19, 20, 21, going through all this, but I was raised in love. But I didn't run back to love because I'm grown. I can do it. I can handle it. Y'all know how we do when we're young teenagers, how we think we got it together. But not knowing that God was preparing me for this person. So I endured it. I didn't know my strength at the time, but I knew I was just destined for something. I remember starting my business when I got my first home. I was in this little raggedy trailer. I like to tell people about this little raggedy trailer. It was a mansion to me at the time, but in that trailer, that's where I built my empire as a hairstylist. In that raggedy trailer, in that kitchen, that was my home, my safe place. That's the place I used to get abused, but that was my home for me and my children. And like for anybody who's starting a business, I like to tell them, it's not how you start or where you start. Just work towards it. So if you appreciate where God have you right now, you keep working, you'll see what's on the other side. So that trailer got me 2 successful hair salons in 2 different states, something I spoke of a while back. And I'm still like, God, why me? Why me? So it's like, why not you? It took me a minute to get to that point because it's like I would get joy from seeing other people happy, but I was just missing the whole point of seeing myself happy. And I was trying to figure out how to do both. And I'm still on that journey of trying to put myself first. You know, I spoke it 2025. You're going to go in here and you're going to thrive in 2025. And I was so amazed when Sanita reached out to me, knowing that's the topic, revive and thrive, because I wrote it on my vision board with my friend Renette and another group of friends that I will thrive in 2025. That was my confirmation. And not knowing who I'm connected to, which is Danielle behind you, that reached out to Sanina, and Danielle works in my salon, and I love Danny. And so we always talking, and my daughter Danny and the other stylists, we just like to pour into one another in the salon area. So it's not your typical salon. Let me plug that in for you. It's transformation for a reason, because you're not going to leave out the same way you came in. You actually transform, and we like to transform beyond hair. And that's just me. No matter what I touch, it's like God is like, if it's hair, I'm going to make you feel beautiful. If you sit in my chair, we're going to talk more than about hair. If I'm sharing my testimony, I can tell you that you will overcome, because I've overcame a lot. But nobody knew until I shared my story, which made me, the same book I wrote about was the same life I was living, being embarrassed. I hid it. I hid my pain. I was ashamed when people knew about my past. And then when I got the strength, it's like, can't nobody tell my story like I can tell my story. Nobody will have a one-up on me with my life story, because I know it was a purpose. But it wasn't until I got my mind together, I had to revive myself, be revived in order to thrive. And so in 2025, I fasted for 31 days, the whole month of January. Never done it in my life. No social media, no sweet, no sodas, no shopping. Those are the things I love to do. but for 31 days, I cried, I prayed, I fasted, I journaled. I wrote another book in 31 days. I just got to get it in the preparation to be out. But 31 days, I listened to sermons. I listened to podcasts. I wrote affirmations. I put them in my jar by my mirror. I had prayers on my mirror. Whatever I could do to feed my spirit, just to fill my cup back up, because it was empty. Like I was operating, like how can a car still run without gas? When they say it's running on air, I was running on air. But it was like God was pushing me. And so I went through that fire. I went through it. And not knowing, God was preparing me for something that happened to me in May and June. But it needed to happen because it strengthened me. Like, when they were saying 2025 was the year for exposure, I felt like that was my year. Everything that I needed to come out came out. And I'm so grateful for it, because it just made me look at life and things differently. So my advice to the women here, after God, put yourself first. It is not selfish. We do it for everybody else. We can clap for other women. We can compliment other women. We can tell other women, it's going to be all right. You got this. You don't do it to yourself. Like, it seems so impossible to speak life into ourselves, but it's so easy that we can tear ourselves down. And I feel like I was revised. You do your thing your way, but I just always tell women, be careful what you say about yourself. Be careful about the words you speak, because what you think is what you speak, and what you speak is what you see. You can't point the finger at anybody else saying, well, they're the reason I'm like that. No, you're the reason you're like that because you keep speaking that over your life. I'm determined to be amazing and great and strong. I prayed those things, and I'm not stopping until I touch everything I see because God put that purpose in me. We all have a purpose. A lot of us deal with either insecurity, you're unhappy, we compare ourselves to one another. Be true to you. God, he intended not to make everybody the same, but it's something within you that's unique that nobody else has but you. But a lot of time we ignore it or we can't see it because we so focused on what's going around us or what we see on social media instead of just tapping into your own truth. You'll soon realize how dope you are when you learn to focus on you. And it's not selfish when you have self-love. It's not selfish when you put yourself first. It's not selfish when you build in your own foundation. Because when you get the strength to be secure in you, you are unstoppable. Nothing or no one can deter you. Nothing or no one can tear you down. When you know your worth, don't expect nobody else to give you self-love. It's self. It's within. It all starts within. You can be beautiful on the outside and ugly on the inside. So I always say transformation starts from the inside out. So I, like God, continue to keep my inside pure, keep my heart strong, keep my mind. Those are the things I pray for. I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm amazing. I have an autistic granddaughter, and she will speak those words. I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I can do anything, because if you don't believe it, who else gonna believe it? I can tell you all the things. You're beautiful, you're amazing. But if you're not believing it, it's going nowhere, null and void. You, it all starts with Y-O-U. Self-love is within. Can't nobody give it to you, so you need the mindset to understand can't nobody take it away, but that's the fastest thing we let other people control. Our self-love is yours. You protect it. You hold on to it. You build from it, but you just be amazed at every day. Something I do is I have to face that lady in the mirror. When I'm broken, you can't miss her. No matter how you try to run from her, you got to face her. So talk to her, love on her, pour into her, tell her she's amazing. You speak those words as if they are true. And eventually you'll believe it because you beat yourself down long enough. You believe what you just said about yourself. So, but why is it so hard for us to say good things about ourselves? I'm still trying to get an answer to that question. But, I mean, we can say all the negative things, and it's like pulling teeth when it's time for us to just speak something positive about ourselves. So I would be a testimony. I would continue to share my story. Lost it all, got it back. Lost it all again, got it back. I might fall 22 times, I'm going to get up 23. I might bend, but I ain't breaking. I water in my pity for a minute, but after a while, that pity party, it got overwhelming. Like this year, I am reviving to thrive, and that's you all. From the wellness, everybody know health is wealth. Thank you for that. We already, like as being black women, we're under attack already. But we are more powerful together than we are separate. We are more powerful together. I like events like this. I love to uplift women. But I don't know why it's so hard for the black women to endure other than knowing that we are the strongest. Even though men might have the strength, but we are the strong ones. Remember, we hold them up. But we be the weakest in our mind, but we just got to know that we are the strength. Nothing moves without a woman. So just keep being amazing. Keep being true to yourself. Can't nobody be you like you but you. So you got to be the best you that you can be. And I'm going to leave you with these tips, and I'll move out your way. So my message, or if you don't take anything else from my speech, just know, to every woman here today, love yourself after God, but before anyone else. Know your worth and don't settle. Build your foundation strong, so no matter what comes to attack you, it might waver, but it won't crumble. Walk in your truth, because there's power in your story. And know that we all go through things, and when we go through things, it's not for us, it's for others. It's for you to tell the next woman what you went through and how you overcame, because you will be surprised when you share your story how somebody's going to catch it and your words could save them. So share your story. Don't be ashamed of your story. It's your story. Stand in your truth on it. No matter how messy it may seem, you tell your story. And I always know when you think you got it bad, somebody has it worse. And if you haven't been through anything, like my grandma used to say, keep on living. You've been through it, or you're going through it right now, or you just came out of it. That's how you get the testimonies in life, by going through tests, trials, tribulation. It ain't no way around it. You gonna go through. But the question is, will you remain there? Or will you fight to continue? Because you know a storm, it comes to destroy and move stuff around, because sometimes God has to shake up your circumstance in order for you to move, because a lot of times we just sit in it. But I'm grateful for the storms, but what comes after a storm? And we all know the storms don't last always. So y'all see a rainbow? Just remember there was a storm before that rainbow. When you see a sunshine, just remember there was a storm before the sunshine. So that's your way to resonate. Storms don't last always. Trust me, if I can survive and thrive in 2025, so can you. So y'all keep being amazing. And Sanina, again, thank you so much for having me, and I really appreciate it. Thank y'all.